Yo, what is up everybody? It's your boy Elden Papa, and today I'm gonna be showing you how to do Hyetta's questline from beginning to end, as well as where to find every item you will need, every single grape. So let's get started. First off, where do you find Hyetta? Well, very simple. She will be right here standing at this site of grace, which is the lake facing cliffs. You can get here from the beginning of the game without even fighting any bosses besides the Scion. All you're going to want to do is from the starting point, make your way all the way along this path and then make a left until you reach the gate front. Make your way all the way up the gate front until you reach the Stormhill Shack, and then instead of making a turn to go fight Margit, you're going to want to head through the forest and find the secret path around the castle, which will bring you to the cliffs. However, you can fight Godric and come out of an exit right here that will pop you out. No matter what, once you get to this point, you will need to head into the castle. If you fought Godric, you most likely won't miss this item, but if you didn't, you will need to get this. Come over here to this shadowy ghost man, and there will be a Shabriri grape right here. Pick it up and return to Hyetta, who will be standing right next to this site of grace. Pre-patch 1.3 or 1.03, you could only get her to spawn in upon completion, I believe, of Irina's questline. However, I believe she spawns in now, even if you haven't started that. However, you will need to complete that questline without messing it up in order to progress this to completion. In order to do Irene's questline, you're going to make your way down to the Weeping Peninsula, which when you get to this junction I talked about earlier, make a right and pretty much stick right all the way down. Once you get here to this grace, the Hyetta will be right here. After speaking with her and obtaining an item, make your way down towards the castle down this path and progress through the castle as you would any dungeon. This is not a legacy dungeon, so do not worry about finding a shard bearer or anything of that sort here, but there is a boss you will have to beat to complete it. However, before you get to that boss, go and talk to a NPC who will be over in this area of the castle. Fight the boss, come back and talk to him, and then go back and talk with Irina over here. After you do that, you will be all good for this questline. So come here, talk to Hyetta, exhaust her dialogue, give her the grape. Every time that she asks for a grape, give her the grape. There is no option or no situation where you don't give her the grape. So you'll want to give her the grape and she'll progress to the next area, which will be right here, or literally there. So the easiest way to get there is going to be to come down this way to the right of this site of grace and look over the edge, and you will see some gravestones. Why are they here and why are they sideways? I couldn't tell you, I'm not Vati. You're going to want to fall down here. Don't mess up a jump. You will die if you fall all the way down. However, you should be able to make it down here quickly and easily enough. Go ahead and hop on Torn and just progress towards the northeast until you find a path that will have wandering nobles on it, as well as some soldiers, and further down some mannequins, I believe they're called. Come over here, there's a site of grace, go ahead and light that and continue down. As you can see, these guys, not really a problem, but if you get caught in a group, they will mess you up. See? So you're going to want to keep going down here, past all these guys, don't mess with them. You'll just get shot like I did, until you reach this very first ruin. It should be the first ruin that you encounter coming from this direction. You want to come in and just clear it out. There will be a few knights here, a few dogs, you know, a little bit of everything for everybody. You know, your normal buffet of Elden Ring, Limgrave environments. Random dead guy. Once you clear it out, come over here and there will be a hidden basement for you to enter. Come on inside and there will be a talisman in the chest, the two-finger talisman, which raises faith, as well as a corpse here with a Shabriri grape that you will need to pick up. Once you have that grape, go ahead and proceed down through the ruins until you see this one right here. Now, the only thing to be wary of is this lobster man, because he's a lobster and he will hit you with a beam stronger than the Death Star beam. So yeah, watch out for him, he's kind of scary. Come over here, Hyetta will literally be standing right here. Talk to her once again and give her the Shabriri grape. Exhaust her dialogue and then we will be all good. From here you're going to want to make your way up path and under this rock overhang, and eventually where the road ends there will be a site of grace for you to go and touch. Hyetta will also be standing here and she will be waiting for another Shabriri grape. This is the last Shabriri grape we will need to get for her, but not the last grape in total. So she will be standing right over here, so you're going to want to come over and talk to her. You won't have a grape in your inventory at this point, and the grape is not near us, unlike the first two areas. We're actually going to have to go and get it somewhere. So what you're going to have to do is, from the lake facing cliffs, make your way down this path until you reach this Lernia Lakeshore Grace. Continue through the water towards this Lascar Ruin Grace, and then continue further. Pretty much following this point directly until you reach the fallen ruins of the lake. And honestly, it really does point you exactly where we need to go, or at least in the realm, which is this Revenger's Shack. No matter which way you make your way over here, just get to the shack. It's not hard. Here there will be an invader. If you did Irene's questline correctly, kill the invader and he will drop a Shabriri grape. Come back to Hyetta, give her the grape, and she will then ask you, what are these grapes? Now, the options you will have are eyes and don't tell her. Not telling her pretty much just pauses the questline and she will go nowhere. But if you tell her what they are, she will begin gagging and having a very reflective moment over all the people who have ripped out their eyes to give to her. Exhaust her dialogue, then walk away, in which she will start gagging. Nothing too crazy there. Rest at the site of grace or reload the area, and then come back to Hyetta and exhaust the rest of her dialogue. Once you do that, she will tell you she has pretty much decided that she will become a finger maiden, and she will then move to her next spot. You can go ahead and progress through this area as normally as you will encounter her, or at least the area she'll be in eventually, in order to leave this area. But to get there, you will either need to get the Lernia or the Rea Lucaria key and make your way in and then across this bridge to this site of grace here, or you can come across up here and come down here where there will be a walking mausoleum. Take a wind elevator up with Torrent and you will make it to the East Rea Lucaria gate. Now this gate is pretty important, as this is basically the grace that you use to get to a lot of important places. It's going to be the one we're going to use to get to the church, the one we mainly use to get to this church, and the one you'll use before you get to the Grand Lift of Dectus Grace to get there. So come here and then make your way up to this church. It's pretty much exactly the same way that this grace is pointing, north. So just progress north, continuing on. Be careful. As you can see, there is a knight's cavalry at night. No different than the one you face in Limgrave or the Weeping Peninsula, except for the fact that they do more damage and do have more health. So if you have been just running through this quest line before fighting many of the shard bearers, you know, be a little weary of that. Anyway, you're going to want to make your way into this church where there will be a item there to enhance your flask, as well as a pathway here which will lead down to this area, which will allow you to get up to the Altus Plateau without activating the Lift of Dectus. But that's not what we care about. Standing right here will be Hyetta, and she will ask you to go find a fingerprint grape. Now, a fingerprint grape is different than the Shabriri grape and will require us to kill another invader. However, this invader is a lot harder than our previous invader. Still a human invader, so they can be manipulated, but nonetheless they will give you a harder run for your money. From this grace, you're going to make your way all along this path until you reach this cliff edge on the right side. Follow it all the way up because there will be rock catapults trying to hit you with rocks, and this is the only way to really avoid them. Come up here and then enter the lift and light this grace, just so you have an easier respawn point. You're then going to want to go ahead and make your way up this cliff, past this frenzy flame tower, which will be trying to inflict you with madness, and try to make it to this grace here. Once you do, you can either go kill the guys at the top of this tower, which will make the tower basically turn off, or you can just progress straight through the frenzied flame village. Once you find this cliff edge, follow it all the way up, and you will pretty much have a straight shot up to the church. If you're on torrent when you get around this area, since it is considered an invader zone, your torrent will disappear and you will be on foot. My recommendation is to run straight into the church and light the grace, so that if Vike kills you, respawn right here and you just have to run outside. Once you get in here, Vike will spawn, of course, and he will come for you. Vike uses a spear that when it hits you inflicts madness, so dodge that. When it comes to dodging a spear, dodge towards the spear hand, makes it a bit easier. Or a shield, however, his spear does inflict madness, so that shield will not be 100% effective. And then he also has access to a few of the madness spells, such as, I believe, the Shriek spell, the Flame of Fury spell, and that one laser eye spell that basically blasts you into oblivion. But you're going to want to fight him, kill him, and he will give you the fingerprint grape. Come back to Hyetta and give that to her, and she will move on to the last area. Now for the last area here, I'm going to have to give two spoilers. One spoiler that basically is for one of the major components for the ending, for an ending of the game. And then for the area beyond the Altus Plateau, which is a very cool area that I don't want to spoil for y'all if you haven't seen it. So if you do care about that, I recommend you click off now and just waiting until you get to those areas until you watch the rest of this video. But if you don't care about that, stick with me and we will be done very, very soon. I'll give you a couple seconds to click off if you wish, and alright, let's continue. So from here, what you're going to want to do is progress through the world normally until you reach the royal capital. Once here, you're going to make your way to the underground roadside, which if you don't know how to get to, there are plenty of guides to online, so definitely go check one of those out. I'll get around to making one eventually, but probably not until I personally reach my New Game Plus cycle. But you're going to want to continue into here and then make your way through until you reach the Cathedral of the Forsaken. This is a very important area, and then in which you will have to defeat a very hard boss, depending on who you ask. And then you will come to the Frenzy Flamed Perception. A fun word, basically. But you're gonna come down here, and now spoilers for a ending. You will need to be grasped by the two fingers to progress and finish Hyetta's questline. Being grasped by the two fingers locks you into the Frenzied Flame ending, and it cannot be changed unless you use this needle on the Frenzied Flame in a very important boss fight. Where is this needle? I think I've lost it. Here it is. Yeah, you'll have to get this needle, which will require you completing Millicent's questline as well as beating Melania, and then making it to Crumbling. Basically, you have to do a whole lot of shit. So make sure this is something you really want to do, or if not, wait till your second playthrough. I'm just saying, doing the Frenzied Flame ending, it is one of the coolest, but it does lock you out of every single ending for as long as you are grasped. Anyway, you're going to fall down here from a pier area above, come here and talk, or not talk, but interact with this door, in which case you will be marked. You will know you're marked because you will be burnt, and you will have all that on you, and you will have a very bad day. So, once you have that, come here and talk to Hyetta, and she will talk to you and ask you to touch her to make her your finger maiden. Go ahead and do that, and that should wrap up the quest line.
Oh, it burns. My eyes, they're melting. Thank you. I have touched them. The words of the three fingers. As your maiden, allow me to divine them. All that there is came from the one great. Then came fractures, and births, and souls. But the greater will made a mistake. Torment, despair, affliction, every sin, every curse, every one born of the mistake. And so, what was borrowed must be returned, melted all away with the yellow chaos flame, until all is one again. Those who gave me grace howled without words, saying they wished they were never born. Become their lord, take their torment, despair, their affliction, every sin, every curse, and melt it all away. As the Lord of Chaos, no more fractures, no more birth.
So she will literally combust and give you 2 items. Said items being the Burning Fun Seal, which boosts your Frenzied Flame incantations. So if you are running a Frenzied Flame build, it is great for that. But if you're not, honestly not much else it can be used for. And then besides that, the Frenzied Flame Stone right here continues to heal chaos followers, which useful in certain situations. But yeah, that should complete her quest line. If you come over here and rest, I'm not sure if it does anything, but I will check. No, it looks like she just burns. She disappears. So she gets to see her glimpsed into reality, and then she dies a unfortunate death. However, guys, that will conclude this questline walkthrough. I really do hope you enjoyed, or at least got the information you came here for out of this video. If you did enjoy it though, please leave a like. It really does let me know that y'all are enjoying this content and lets me know what more to make of. If you want more boss fights, go like those videos. But if you want more guides just like this one, I'm eternally grateful for any support. If you would like, please be sure to subscribe. That would be great. I love building a little family on here for all of us to have a great time with what I believe to be the greatest thing From Software has ever put out, besides Bloodborne. But enough of that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out.